Oh, I love that song.
It's really good.
Yeah. Morning, Joe.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You're quiet.
I'm quiet. Oh, let me turn myself up.
A little bit
Is that
quiet.
better?
It is, yeah, yeah. At first, I thought it was me, but as I turned the volume up on my headset, you stayed the same.
Gotcha.
It's the perfect example of the more things change, the more they stayed the same.
Mm. Hmm.
I did notice the last time we did a live, when I was setting up the recording and everything, that I came off like really loud and you came off quiet. So
Oh.
maybe I need to ease up on how loud I speak. I'm not quite sure because even to me right now, it sounds like I'm louder to myself in my headset than you are loud in my headset.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah. I
Maybe
sound louder to me, but I also have you turned down a little bit coming through my roadcaster.
it's because I'm loud. 'Cause I'm a loud person.
Oh, maybe.
Who knows?
Oh, tired.
So am I, man. It was an exhausting day yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
What happened, or is it
Oh yeah,
too early to say?
no, I'm definitely gonna talk about it 100%. You already know the outcome of it. I sent you the picture yesterday, so
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh
yeah,
man, yeah, that is an exhausting process.
yeah. But it's the events that led up to that process that really, it's a real kick in the knackers, bro. Um,
Oh, I bet.
yeah, but we're gonna talk about that. And actually, it's weird because there's a lot of bittersweet emotions that came with it too that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Um, but since this is going to be released as an actual, you know, uploaded show, I guess I'll start it out. Guys, I'm Travesty,
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
and we're getting together on a Saturday morning to do a live stream. But I guess whenever realistically you do listen to this, we're here together on whatever day and time you chose to listen to this. Episode 287. So
Wow.
so getting a lot closer to that big 300 number is really exciting. Um, last week, I guess technically this week, but whenever you listen to this, because this isn't getting released until next week. But so last week, very busy. Very cool experience in becoming more involved in that wrestling company. Doing
Nice.
the booking and stuff like that. I didn't I didn't realize how involved it was. I'm glad that I now see how involved it is because before it didn't seem like it was that important. If I could say that in a way where people don't take it personally, but like it just seemed like there had to have been more, and I'm just glad to know I was right. Um, but
Nice.
yeah, setting getting guys booked for matches and setting up the how the matches are going to go and everything, and not turning phones off, or at least a sound off while doing other shit. Get away, Twitter. I don't know why I turned notifications back on for Twitter. I thought they were going to help benefit us social media wise, but it just doesn't.
Oh yeah,
And
no, it's
it also doesn't help that you got three different Twitter accounts, so you get notifications for all three Twitter accounts
hmm
at the same time. And then when you follow the same thing on all three Twitter accounts, don't get me wrong, I love Chicago White Sox, but I don't need the same damn Twitter,
yeah. I
notification.
don't love them. Three Twitter notifications in a row.
Yeah.
It's worth.
Um, so, where the fuck was I at? Oh, yeah. Last week it's just like like I ended up having to go out to the school on Tuesday and get everything set up, and then I was supposed to be back out there on Thursday, but an issue arose where I couldn't do that, and I kept thinking to myself, like, I could easily text Joe right now, see if he's available and everything, but it's just like, no, this is a last minute thing now, and I'm already stressed out. Just fuck it. We'll just commit to the Saturday thing. So if you were available Thursday evening and would prefer to do it rather than this morning, I apologize. That's on me.
Nah, this works.
But I've been having issues with my truck, and I thought that it was at a point that I could do some routine maintenance to it, and it would just be fine. We could I could get again that final, just that one more year out of it.
Yep.
And definitely definitely was not the case. Man. And I'm going to dive into that story real quick, but I just wanted to let the listeners of this podcast know that everything we do, whether it be videos, podcasting, audio, sign up equipment, like the gimbal that just arrived here to me. Haven't taken it out of the box yet.
Yep.
Definitely probably should. Maybe I'll do that while we're recording. But all this is possible because of our sponsor at CarterComics.com. That's right, the one-stop shop for all your comic needs, whether it be graded or raw. Carter Comics has got it all. If you're looking for comics, like you said, whether they're graded and you want to hang them on the wall to display, or they're raw and you're looking to read something, well, I don't know, on the pooper, waiting for the long process of purchasing something that you're going to have to commit to for years to come. Maybe some downtime at work, maybe some downtime at home. You know what? Go to CarterComics.com. Pick up an amazing comic. They got a plethora of them, bountiful amount, a cornucopia, if you will, of comics available right there on the website. But it doesn't end just at their website. They do have 4 different eBay accounts that they sell comics through, and you can find the links to all those eBay accounts at the main page of CarterComics.com. It's just scrolling down to the homepage. Boom, they're all right there. Click on any one link. Find what you're looking for. Go ahead and bid on it to win it. Buy it outright. Maybe even negotiate a price and see if they agree with you and work with you. The best part of the sponsorship is that it does come with a discount code, FREAKNET, FREAKNET. That discount code is going to save you 10% on your entire purchase, not only at CarterComics.com, but also on your eBay purchases at their eBay accounts. And we call it a discount code. It's not a promo code. It is a discount code. And the difference in that is a promo code, promotional code, if you will. You can only use it once. It's a one and done kind of thing. With our discount code, you can use it over and over. There's no one-time use. So if you decide to buy a bunch of comics this month and use our discount code, you could do the same thing next month, and then the next month, and then the next month, and then next year. Because I'm optimistic that this partnership is going to last for years to come.
Yeah.
So CarterComics.com is a great sponsor that we appreciate so much here, not only for this freaking show, but for FreakNet Studios as a whole, because they are helping us grow and be more than what we ever could imagine. So thank you to CarterComics.com, and thank you to you guys for going to CarterComics.com, buying their products, and using the discount code FREAKNET, FREAKNET, to save 10%.
Nice. Are we still sponsored by Audible?
Yeah.
I feel weird about asking about it, but I didn't get a chance to do the plug last time, and so I wasn't sure. What's that thing? If we were still there.
Technically we are. Sorry, I'm opening a gimbal.
Oh, you're good.
Yes, the link's still active. And honestly, it's the easiest way to where, I can say this is fine. Nothing again, no disrespect to CarterComics.com in any way. But it's the easiest way for anyone to help us out without it costing them any money. Obviously, if you go to CarterComics.com and spend your money, you're going to get a great product out of it. And then obviously we we get a little piece of that, if you will.
Right.
Um, at Audible, you sign up for Joe will tell you, but
you sign up for the free 30-day trial, you get a free credit towards your first audiobook purchase. Yep. And then you're signed up, and you can cancel after 1 month, and you get your free book, and we get our cut of whatever Audible gives for that. And it's golden. It's good. It's Gucci, as the kids say, I'm told.
Is that what it is now? It's Gucci.
It's Gucci, yeah.
But yeah, honestly, it's one of the easiest ways for somebody to sponsor us without having to spend a dime. All they got. It is. I understand there's some hesitation on it because when my mom did it, a little behind the scenes, she was questioning it because you do have to put in a credit card. You got to put in information as if you're going to subscribe to it.
Yeah, because if you forget to unsubscribe, they will ding.
They will. It's an automatic payment or whatever it is.
Yep. And then you'll get a credit towards next month's audiobook purchase.
Yeah, so it's just one of the things where if you sign up, you try it out for the 30 days, and if you like it, hey, congratulations, keep it, enjoy it. And if you don't, you just go in there before the the end of the subscription period and just cancel. And
I mean, you can literally go in, get your free book, and then cancel your subscription immediately. And you got a free book. It's read by a fantastic reader, and then you're good. You don't have to worry about your whatever it is now. I think it's like $16 a month getting dinged.
Is that what it is now?
I think so. Gotcha. They might have a lower tier subscription that's cheaper, but doesn't give you an audiobook. I don't know. It's weird.
What worries me about some things like Audible. You know what, Joe? Why don't you go ahead and finish the plug? Then we can talk. If you want
to support us on Audible, you think this sounds like a good deal to you, good deal to us, because it's a free book, basically. You can go to Audible. What is it? audibletrial.com/freaknet? Yeah.
Yes. 100% correct.
So yeah, audibletrial.com/freaknet. Sign up today. Get your free audiobook. Get us our cut. Cancel your subscription. That's the way to do it.
That's the exact way to do it. It's oh God. You know what, Joe? So I'm looking at this gimbal thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck any of this means.
Oh yeah, you probably gotta charge it.
It's very possible. The thing is, like, I'm looking at this piece of equipment that fucking we like being transparent with our listeners, right? So we spent $130 on this thing, and I know for a fact that if I knew nothing about this, I'd be pissed because I think it was broken.
Right.
But knowing that it's designed to constantly move loosely to prevent the shaking and all of that other stuff, it's like, okay, so I guess it's doing exactly what it's supposed to.
Right.
I just don't understand what this shit is. God, it's a whole new fucking world. I'll tell you that right now. Mm-hmm. For me, it's a whole different world. I mean, it's an exciting world. I won't lie.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm excited about this. It's just, oh my God, what the? This is beautiful. Okay, so yeah, we'll have to stick with that later because I don't even know what the hell. I don't even know if I can get this back in the fucking box. How the hell does this even fit in there to begin with? Oh my God, Joe.
Mine's in a little case, and you gotta like fold it back up.
In fact, I not come with a case. The case with these are like $40 or $60.
Woo.
So I did not get a case. Oh, there's a handle. There's an additional handle. Oh, never mind. It's not a handle. It's a tripod.
Oh yeah. You put that on the bottom. You can hold it, give you extra height.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Not really much more height though.
No, no, it's like a hand's width.
Yeah, and I thought again I'll have to look more at this as I go. Up, nap, there it is. I'm so nervous about this shit that I want to be as gentle as possible. I was like, I thought there was like almost like a selfie stick kind of thing to this, and yeah, there is.
Nice.
Now I just gotta figure out how this thing works. Maybe I don't know. Maybe when it's actually like charged and on and stuff, there's a little more structure to it.
Yeah,
But
it makes a lot more sense once the motors are working.
yeah, so cool, exciting, new. I don't know how to fold it back up to put it back in the box, but who cares anymore? These are the moments where I feel old, Joe.
I hear you. I
Because
hear you.
I feel like it should be that
Used to
way.
know I used to know how Facebook worked. I used to know how Twitter worked, and I'll try and set up and I know how it works for like me to just use it, right?
Yeah.
But like I would love to try to use it for business, promote the church, promote the podcast, do all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And figuring out they've added this whole new app called the Business Suite, and it used to
Yeah, I
be
saw that.
Facebook Business Suite, but now it's Meta Business Suite, and
Yep.
I find it so hard to use. It's so unintuitive.
Yeah, it's one of the things where like because I totally forgot about that, and I know I had that app on my phone. Um, but then like I accidentally got to it through looking at some kind of message that came through. I think it was on JFW,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And it's more like I guess an analytic tool or an organization tool. Now it'd be awesome if um it was more user friendly,
Yeah.
like most shit. But it seems like they kind of take everything they have and almost complicate it. But in their mind, it's like, oh, but we're doing this for you. It's like, but you're
Yeah,
not.
they outsmart themselves. Sucks.
Yeah, and honestly, like a lot of like, and I kind of feel the same way about like even like some TikTok videos. I get a little pissed about because I mean, awesome for people to figure it out and like how to like like edit the videos to do certain things and shit. And she's like, you know what, I could probably learn how to do that stuff, but I don't want to waste the time to try to figure that out for one video, and I don't want to do it for
Right.
multiple videos because it gets redundant and boring.
Yeah. Well, and I don't. My big problem is like I don't know that I want to be good at it because social media is such poison.
Yep.
You know,
Oh yeah.
like on the one hand, there's a guy I listen to about church stuff who's like, Facebook's the biggest mission field ever, in the history of the world, 1.6 billion users a day, or something like
Mhm.
that. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, but like, oh man, is it bad? It's a bad place. And I'm there
Yeah.
all the time, so I'm not saying you're bad for being on it. I just think it's the algorithm is deliberately designed to piss you off because being pissed off gives them more engagement.
Yeah. It's basically the modern day Medusa.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's weird because like you never really realize how much time you spend on your phone until
until
you
your
start
phone sends you
acknowledging
reports to let you know.
it. Yeah, let me ask you about that, Joe. So I texted you yesterday to remind you of this morning,
Yeah,
and you set your phone to silent at what did you say 9:45?
9:45. Yeah.
What does that mean?
So I have a sleep schedule
Yeah.
for my alarm on my
Uh,
phone.
yep.
And so at 9:45, at 9:44 it sends me an alert saying, "Hey, your sleep schedule is about to start.
Hmm.
You want to go to bed by 10:30, and so we're going to help you wind down by starting at 9:45. So you got like 45 minutes to wind down, be off of your stuff and go to bed."
Yeah.
And so at 9:45, all of the little like notification bubbles disappear so that I don't see that I have anything unless I go into the app specifically and check. And it doesn't vibrate, it doesn't ring, it doesn't do anything to let me know that I have a message.
Gotcha. Okay. So how did you see my text?
I specifically went into the messages app to double check that there were no messages before I went to bed.
Yeah, because it wasn't that far off.
Yeah, no, it was only like half an hour.
So it felt like it was like instinctively, like you knew you had to do something.
Yeah.
I feel like we're building a good connection here, Joe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Granted, the fact that we've known each other for
A long
19
time.
years, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Actually, you know what?
God, is it 20? I
It
remember we started dating in 2003.
so the only way I remember how old I was they started dating in October of year A.
Okay.
And I remember that the following year in, I think it was February or March, we did some kind of white elephant event
That
out
can't be
at,
good.
out at one of your aunt and uncle's house. I don't want to
Yeah.
use names. Wait,
Sorry.
how is he referred to in Geekcast Live?
We call him the K-Man.
Okay, K-Man and his wife's house. That following year, February or March. I want to say it was March. March sounds right. And I remember on that trip, Nick had his learner's permit and was driving us like I think like halfway. I think Carl drove from the house here like halfway, and then Nick got behind the wheel and drove the rest of the way.
Gotcha.
So Nick was 15 when he was driving, obviously with the permit. So he was 15 when they started dating,
Gotcha.
which would make me 14. And I turned 14 that May of the year they started dating, that October. And
Gotcha.
I'm turning 34 this year. So it'll probably be 20 years this October they started dating. Now, I don't remember how far after they started dating that we met, but I know it had to be obviously between that October and that following March. I
Right.
just don't remember when that was. I do
Got it.
remember being at a diner here or a restaurant here in Peatown. Um, I just don't remember when, but you know, I, I'm proud of myself to get to that point at least.
Yeah,
I
it's better
just
than I can do. I've
so yeah, so it was 2000, it was 2003, and it's weird because I do give Mom and Carl a lot of credit because obviously I'm sitting here trying to establish my own relationships and my own love life, and for some reason like it's just not working out, and I'm okay with that. I'm not bummed about it. Relationships are just going to naturally happen when they happen.
Right.
There's always a fate and a meaning. I mean, like it's just how it is.
Sure.
Same with you. You wouldn't have met your wife if you didn't decide to go to the school you went to for the degree that you wanted to go for that you
Yep.
ultimately didn't get. You
Yep.
know,
Although my backup was also her backup.
ironic,
So
weird.
there's a part of me that's like, oh, what would have happened?
And you guys wouldn't have met, right? Like you guys didn't know each other before college.
Correct.
Gotcha. Yeah, because you met on the first day or whatever, freshman day or whatever.
Yep. Yep. Orientation.
Gotcha. Um. So, but I mean, to think about Mom and Carl it's a little weird. I mean, obviously they were both married beforehand. They both had kids beforehand and all that stuff. But when you look at the timeline on how everything worked out, like they met October, got engaged 4 months later, if that,
Mm-hmm.
and then they got married. What 5 months after that?
Dang.
So they got married within a year of knowing each other. Like
Man.
they met,
I
went on a
know that
date.
that's right, but I can't believe that that's right.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the weird thing. It just because like knowing my mom, she's not an impulsive person. She likes to plan shit out.
Right.
So for me to think like she met a guy, and I think a lot of it probably has to do with I guess interstate battery, but also I think the relationship, and again, Carl explained these connections so much, and I just can't remember it for the life of me because it's just
Sure.
so much. But the relationship between Grandpa Wayne and mom's boss's dad, I think it is, or something like that. I think like their relationship or something like that. But I think it's just from everybody knowing each other and getting that kind of like hey he's okay, his family's okay and shit like that. That she like probably connected better
Right.
because she kind of had that in a sense a background check available to her. Um, but yeah, it was just weird because like you go from 14 years of having, or not even 14, I guess I guess 4 years because Ashley was born way late in life. We got 4 years in the same exact siblings, and within a year you add three more or
Right.
four more on your end. But yeah, it was weird how quickly, and yeah, they're gonna be celebrating I guess 19 years this year,
Wow.
this coming July. So
Wild.
aren't you at like 9 years this year? Like
8.
8. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Congrats
Time
on that one.
flies,
It
especially when
does,
there's a
man.
pandemic.
Yeah, yeah. That last 2 years or so really kind of blurred by. But
Yes, it did.
yeah. Anyways, so Thursday I didn't end up going to the school
Right.
like I wanted to. So Wednesday on my way into work, my trucks are having issues driving, and I knew that there were issues initially with it, and everything pointed to spark plugs. They had to be replaced. And I was like, okay. And I was talking to a buddy of mine who's going to help me do that. And I was fine with it. I was like, it's like, it needs to get done. I need, like I said, I need this truck 70,000 miles or another year. Just, I need to get more out of it. I need to, get myself into a situation and I can't get that car payment. So, I'm driving to work. I accelerate, getting on the highway, and all of a sudden the truck starts, uh, what's a good mechanical term? Puttering.
Mm.
But it started going like
Oh no.
I'm like, okay. It did it before. It did do it before like a week prior, but then like it went away. It only did it for like maybe like 5 minutes and then it went
Right.
away. And it was at the same time that I was passing a car with high acceleration. So I was like, okay, so maybe again it's gotta be, the spark plugs. It'll go away. It'll be fine. But it never did. It didn't go away for like 35 minutes of my drive. I get to a stop sign, get to a street light, parked in the parking lot at work. Same thing. So I call Carl and I was like, hey, I need you to come out here real quick. And he comes out. And when he gets out, I accelerate. And he's like, yeah, that's a rod. Oh, no, he said it was a lifter. No, he said it was a lifters.
A lifter.
Lifters weren't working. And I was like, perfect. And then, he's like, you better off just getting a new vehicle because the amount of money you're going to put into that, might as well just get a new vehicle. And at this time, my truck, it was 10 years old, had 236,000 miles on it. So it was up there in years. And, to make it that far without any engine trouble and transmission issues and stuff, that's a goal. That's a dream right there. So
Mm-hmm.
it was what it was. I was like, okay, well, I was talking to my friend's husband, and we were talking about me bringing it over to their house Saturday morning to maybe look at it, maybe find a way to do it more cost effective. And I was like, yeah, because it's gonna be cheaper, hopefully, than buying a car. Well, I leave. So with the truck issues, I had to message, the wrestling company and say, hey, truck's messing up. I can't make it out to work. I got to drive the thing as little as fucking possible, and I need to make it to work tomorrow. Um, so I didn't go. And then Friday, I started driving to work. And as I was accelerating, I started hearing a new noise.
Oh no.
And you remember when you were a child and you would put like, maybe not you, but maybe you did, who knows?
Mm.
Um, and you put a baseball card in your bike spokes.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So the noise was kind of like that,
Yeah. Cars are
except
not supposed to sound like that.
yeah. Well,
Are you sure?
instead of being a baseball card, it was just a laundry clip by itself.
Ooh,
So it was like a wooden clip hitting the spokes. So it was like that I can't even make the noise. I tried to make it yesterday when I was on the phone with Mom and Carl, but
yeah.
it's just like that whatever the fuck it was. But it was like a
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
clicking fucking noise and shit. So I put the phone on speaker and I asked Carl, I'm like, what is that? He's like, that's a rod. And I was like, seriously? He's like, yeah, your truck's done. So I didn't end up going to work. I called my buddy up. I asked him, if because I haven't bought a car in 10 fucking years.
Right. Yeah.
I just haven't. And the last time I bought a car, it was with a family friend, and it was the easiest fucking process in the world. Now I know I don't know how to buy fucking cars
Mm.
because I bought cars before. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, my first car I bought from my grandmother. That was fucking easy. It was just giving her money and we're done.
Right.
You know. And it was easy because my mom was there. It's like, you're not going to overcharge my kid. I don't think she would have anyways, but I know my mom would have been there and be like, oh, hell no, mother. Um, but I don't think my grandma would have done that anyways. She knew how much that Grand Prix really meant to me.
That
But
Grand
then
Prix was sweet. I love that
I,
car.
I love the Grand Prix. To this day, I really wish. Here's the win. I do have the VIN number to my '91 Pontiac Grand Prix.
Oh, nice.
I just don't know how to go about finding it, but I know I think I found it once, and I'm pretty sure it's in a scrapyard in Mexico. I could have
Oh
done that completely
no.
wrong. I don't know, but I would have loved because and that's the thing, like it's my grandfather's car.
Mm.
That was my grandpa Weiner's car who passed away in the 90s. I want to say it was like 94, 95 or something like that. Could have been 96. But like I just love that car so much, and I should have held on to it, but it was a 91, and we're talking this was around 2008 when I got rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So um, I when I got rid of the 91 Grand Prix and I got the '08 Grand Prix, I went to the dealership with my buddy Matt, and when I got rid of the '08 Grand Prix and I got the '05 Navigator, which was the biggest fucking mistake of my life.
Oh yeah. The Navigator. That car
Yeah,
made you look small.
yeah, I loved it, but I hated it at the same time.
Uh huh.
I loved it for the features, for the room. For the amount of people I actually liked being around and everything. They could all fit in the Navigator.
Right.
Great fucking times. The whole back folded down, so the girlfriend and I at the time, like if we went to like a barn party or a bonfire or some shit, and we decided we didn't want to drive home, we just wanted to crash there for the night. I could lay out blankets, we could sleep in the back there, and there's a sunroof I could open up and shit, and it was almost camping.
Nice.
There were so many great features to the Navigator, but I got boned on the price, 100%. The fucking and I went through with my buddy Josh, so clearly no smart choices whatsoever. But like and that's the thing. Like I've had good car salesmen and I've had shit car salesmen. And this guy was a shit. He saw me and he just like, fuck yeah, that's my guy.
Right.
Because I was honestly just going to look for a truck. Like because again, that's that same girlfriend at the time. She kept saying that she had car sickness when she was in the Grand Prix because it was so low to the ground.
Mm.
So stupid ass me, who's only been dating this girl for 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
was like, well, I got to do something to make her more comfortable in the car. So I go out and get a different fucking vehicle, and somehow ended going from looking at a truck to ending up with an '05 fucking Lincoln Navigator in 2012, mind you. This is 2012. I bought an '05 Navigator.
Jesus.
Um,
The economy's just getting back on its feet.
yeah,
Gas at the time was the highest it's ever been.
yeah. Yeah, but I'm driving around in that shit biscuit. Oh, it was so fucking horrible. But yeah, so then I got rid of that, which was surprising because I got the Navigator in September of 2011, not 2012, but September of 2011, and I got rid of it in March or April of 2013, 14, no, 13. Um, so I only had it for like maybe a year and a half,
Dang.
which I thought it was a lot longer.
Yeah, time is so much slower back then in my
Yeah.
memory.
No, that can't be right. Nope, it is wrong. I bought that car in 2010. I started dating Jenna in 2010. That makes a lot more sense.
Still.
Okay, so I had it for 2.5 years. Still, I mean, like I said, it was a great car. It's just I got fucked on the price. That was the
Oh
biggest thing,
yeah.
the cost of the fucking thing, and that cost put me into a Dodge Ram that luckily was selling for less than it was worth, so it balanced out what I still owed on that Navigator, which I was upside down in. But then I got to this Dodge Ram in April of 2013. Yeah,
That'd been 10 years ago. If you had it for 10 years.
it was 13. I'm trying to remember. See, and that's weird because like relationships are what's like it's relationships are kind of establishing my time frames. So I bought that car 3 months after I started dating Jenna, and I bought that truck a year after we broke up
Gotcha.
because we hung out for a year after we broke up, and then when she finally blew me off and started dating her now husband is when I eventually got the truck or somewhere around that time frame. Gosh, God, I fucking hate her. I don't hate her. She's so miserable. That
She's
was that.
miserable or
She made that year of my life miserable
gotcha.
because when you spend a year with somebody, implying that we could work things out and get back together, and you don't really know why you broke. Correction, you never tell somebody why you broke up, but deep down they know why you broke up
Mm,
because the reason you guys broke up messaged you on Facebook.
right.
Um, but yeah, there was a period in my life where I always thought if there was one ex I would get back together with, it would be Jenna.
Mm-hmm.
And when I sit here, and actually, this podcast fucking helped out a lot because I talk about my relationships a lot on here. Probably at nauseum. I do talk about them a lot. Um, but it makes me realize that if I was to get back together with her today, there's still that thought of we broke up because you said you weren't happy, but the truth is it's because you met some other guy, and we broke up weeks before I was gonna propose to her, and then
Oh,
we
that's rough.
spoke. Yeah, we spoke and hung out for a year after we broke up, with these weird, ideas of we're gonna get back together and stuff. I mean, I remember there was one time, and not to put her life out there, but what do I give a fuck anymore? She already fucking pretends I don't exist. Fine. Plus, I know she doesn't listen to this fucking show. Plus, if she does, hey, you know everything about me now. Um, Even after we broke up, we would still go get lunch and stuff because she was going to esthetician school. And there was one day where I went to go get lunch with her, and I was still working. I was still on the clock. I just had no job to do. I was an inspector at that time, and she wasn't feeling well. And we took her to her doctor and found out her appendix was going,
Oh,
and
Jesus.
she had to go to a hospital. So I had to drive her to the fucking hospital, which was up by South Chicago, and she lived out by fucking Indiana, the border of Indiana.
Jeez.
Um, and I couldn't fucking leave her.
No,
You
yeah,
know,
I think you did the
yeah.
right thing
I had
probably.
to, I had to drive her over there in I was using Caro's truck at the time, that old red shitty one.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so her car's sitting in a parking lot at a strip mall where the doctor's was. I'm driving her over to the hospital in that truck, getting her into the room, calling her mom, letting her know what's going on, let her know what hospital we're at and shit. And I can't fucking leave now. I had to text Carl and say, hey, I'm gonna have to take the rest of the day off because Jenna's in the hospital because her appendix burst or is going to burst or some shit,
Right,
whatever the
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
it is. I still don't know how that fucking works. He said okay, that was fine and everything, and yeah, so she's sitting there and she's laying in bed and I'm standing there like I guess I'm here now. Not that I didn't want to be there, but there's no obligation for me to fucking be there. Like stupid me, just like, oh, come on now, this is fucking Jenna. gotta stay. And I stayed there that whole night. Wasn't supposed to, but
Right.
did. Slept there in her room and shit. And it was weird because she asked me to go get her charger out of the car. Actually, you know what? Yeah. Listen, now I'm confused. How did I get her charger? No, she got her shit. Okay, yeah. So she got her shit out of her car, put it in mine because we knew we were going to the hospital. However, it was. Um, I got some shit for her, and when I was leaving the room, she told me that she loved me, which pissed me off because if you did, you wouldn't have dumped me 4 months ago. But whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, then we sat there and everything, and her mom and brother showed up, and everyone was talking about what was going on and how she was going to go into surgery tomorrow. So I guess her appendix hasn't burst yet. So um, Jenna's freaked out about staying there by herself. She asked me if I would stay, and I said, yeah. Her mom was like, well, you don't need to stay. And I was like, yeah, I guess I don't, do I? And then she asked me again, and I said, yeah. So I stayed, and I don't know why. But she was in the hospital for like 4 days. And
Jeez.
I think I stayed 2 of the nights, and her mom stayed the other 2 nights. And it felt like we were like connecting again.
Right.
And even when she got home, like after she got home and shit, um, I would go over to her house and we would sit and watch movies. Like that was the first time I ever saw Indiana Jones.
No
Like the
kidding.
entire series. Yeah, I was with her laying in bed watching it. And I remember there was a point she kissed me and all this other shit. And I think all of that kind of went away the moment I realized that the guy I know she left me for, she was texting the entire time from being in the hospital to being home.
Ugh.
And yeah, like I give her the benefit of the doubt. I could, she sits there and says like, "Oh no, it's just a friend. It's just a friend. We just talk about this. We talk about that." And I was like, I mean, I believe you, but I don't believe I believe you guys talk about all this shit. But I know guys because I know that I was a guy like that at one point in my life,
Mhm.
where I'd be like, "Well, yeah, I'm sure your boyfriend's great, but I mean, is he here talking to you about all this?"
Right.
You know, if clearly you're coming to me with these problems, clearly he's not helping you with these problems.
Mm.
It's these fucking mind games. And I don't think it was anything like that because as a boyfriend, I'm very there.
Right.
Great listener. Not a good, not the best talker. I don't like relaying my emotions too much back then. Now,
Right.
obviously, I clearly do it to hundreds of people on a weekly basis now here on the podcast. But um, it's just weird knowing that um, that she's texting this guy who I'm sure she's bitched to about me at the end of our relationship. And I get that our relationship sucked at the end because I was laid off and I had no fucking money. And God forbid I couldn't get her a fucking Christmas gift. Apparently that was, I don't know, that was the fucking beginning of the end, but whatever. But yeah, no, at that moment, I was just like, this doesn't feel like the same person that I loved that I was with. Like it just doesn't. And then like I started learning about all this other goofy shit about how she applied for some school out west, and I want to say like California or Colorado, somewhere out west. It was some fucking college or university out west while we were dating. She applied for the school and never told me.
Mm.
Um, don't know how long after we broke up that she was like with this guy because like I think like a month after we broke up, she told me that she had to go pick some things up from this guy's house, and I was like, first off, I don't know why you're telling me this, but like she's like, well, just in case something happens and you don't hear from me in like an hour. I'm like, what's your shit doing at some guy's house?
Right.
Again, not my problem. Shouldn't have been, but curiosity. Like, we only been broken up for 4 weeks, but she's like, oh, it's nothing. It's just like some like makeup and stuff like that. So like, if I was ever running late for work and he lives right by, where we work and everything, I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, sure, awesome. Um, Not the person that I ended up with, and I didn't realize that shit until we talked more about it here on this show, on several different episodes. It made me realize that like I couldn't be in a relationship with her now. I just couldn't, because I know that she, first off, she chose somebody else. Not just her husband. I got nothing against her husband. I'm happy that she is in her life where she is now.
Yeah.
But that person between me and where she got was fucking horrible, because it just felt like she used me for, you know, she found an opportunity to get some shit from a guy who is desperate enough to try to take somebody back that they dumped. Because like, looking at it now, it's like I was just some pathetic guy that she was able to get shit from.
Mm.
And if she was any type of person, she wouldn't have allowed that.
Right.
And the only true time she showed real affection towards me, like the only moment where she really felt she wanted me back, was when I started dating Melissa after we broke up.
Mm.
And this was like November, December of the same year we broke up. So we broke up in 2012. And so like November, December, I started dating Melissa, and all of a sudden Jenna came around more often and more involved and more talkative.
Mm.
And the moment me and Melissa ended, I told Jenna, I was like, listen, me and Melissa aren't really seeing each other anymore. It just didn't work out. But if you're serious about us getting back together, I'd love to talk about that. And the first thing she says, like, well, Travis, you just got out of a relationship with somebody else. I'm not going to be your rebound. That's the moment I knew
Mm-hmm.
that she never really wanted to be back together with me. She just wanted to make sure I was there as a fallback plan for her.
Ugh.
Because when you sit there and you talk about how, you show up on like New Year's at my house, when Melissa was supposed to be there. And that's why we broke up, because she just couldn't commit as much as I was, and I wasn't going to deal with that. But when you show up my house on New Year's uninvited, you just show up and you tell somebody, like, I wish I was your midnight kiss, but I know you have a girlfriend. Like, when you say shit like that, like, it does affect somebody.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, when you find out that you could have been that midnight kiss, and you're just like, well, I probably wouldn't have done it because, you were with somebody else, and I'd just be a back. It's like, no, now you're just fucking with somebody. Now you're just messing with somebody's head.
Yeah.
And I think it was that moment where I realized, like, this isn't the person that I knew. This isn't Jenna. This isn't the person I met online in 2010. This isn't the person that, I went on my first date to a bonfire at a friend's house. And this isn't the person I spent every single day with for 4 or 5 months straight. Doing all this shit. Going on my first couples vacation was with fucking Jenna. Like, this isn't the same fucking person.
Right.
And yeah, so after that we got really distant, and it ended. And then I got the truck. So so I bought the truck and everything, and 10 years, 236,000 miles later, all of a sudden the rods started going. I started looking at cars and trucks, and I never wanted to get a car. I really didn't. I liked the roomier fucking trucks.
Right.
And a friend of mine, her husband recommended, like, why don't you look like an Impalas and stuff like that? Well, the problem is they don't make Impalas anymore.
Oh,
They
really? That makes sense.
they stopped making them in 2019.
Yeah. Well, it's the same damn car as the Malibu anyway.
100%. I'm gonna sneeze. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only difference is the Malibu is a little bit shorter.
Right.
I think a little bit. Yeah. So I was talking to my buddy, and he wanted me to look at like Equinoxes and stuff like that. And like, honestly, like, I really don't want to be back in like an SUV. I don't think I'm an SUV guy. Like not anymore. The Navigator was fun. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, maybe it's just the idea of like, God, I really got screwed in that Navigator. I don't really want to be screwed again.
Right.
But I was just like, I just didn't like SUVs. So we went to Drolly's here in my town. So shout out to Drolly's of Peatone. Thank you for helping me out and making it easy. Thanks for not being the fucking Ford dealership and fucking me. We started looking at cars and I was like, well, let me see if I could fit in the cars. Because that was my biggest concern was comfortably fitting in a vehicle.
Right. That made a big difference.
Big fucking dude. Big fucking dude. So they had a bunch of Malibus and they had a couple Ford Fusions. I was like, okay, I remember having a Ford Fusion before as a rental car for when I had the Grand Prix.
Right.
And 1 second. Oh man, fucking allergies. So
Yeah.
I was like, well, maybe I could fit in a Ford Fusion. I don't know about a Malibu because in my mind, when I think of Malibus, I think of like, do you remember Derek's Chevy Cavalier?
No.
Okay, but you know what a Cavalier is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Cobalts now.
Yeah.
So that's how I imagine what these cars are like. Small fucking, compact cars.
Right.
So it's like, I don't well, let me try. Maybe I can't fit in, maybe it'll be okay. And so I get there, we get the keys to the Fusions and the Malibus. And honestly, when you put the seat all the way back and all the way down, sitting in it, it's actually not that much different than my Dodge Ram.
Nice.
I thought it was gonna be like really fucking narrow. Like if I go to shut the side door, it's just gonna bounce off my fucking hip and everything. And it's not. Getting in and out sucks because it's shorter and you're going down into a vehicle instead of up into a vehicle. So I just got to duck my head to get in and out. But when
Right.
I'm sitting in it, it doesn't feel like I'm, it's not clown carish. Like I'm not like shoulders up to my ears, elbows out, to my sides,
For
holding
sure.
on to the top of the wheel because there's no fucking room. Like I'm comfortably back in it. So I got into the one Ford Fusion, but it was a 2015 with I think it was like 90,000 miles or something like that. I'm like, oh, maybe that's a little too old. I don't want that old of a vehicle. Let me look at the 2019 Ford Fusion, and I didn't mind it. My problem was there were a couple of things that were already broken on it, like the sunglass case thing was broken off, and one of the vents were broken off. But the weird thing was, and it's probably not. It's probably weird for me to say. I didn't like it because it smelled like smoke.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a smoker, I just didn't like the fact that like the moment I stepped into it, it had that leather smoke smell to it.
Gotcha.
Like I'm just like I know I smoke, but I know my truck doesn't smell like this.
Right.
So I looked
That
at
person was
Malibus,
hotboxing their cigarettes.
100%. And so I looked at Malibus, and they had I think like 5 of them, and I only got into 2 of them. So they had 2 black ones. They had like 2 cherry metallic ones, which was like a really deep, dark purplish looking, and then a blue one. I got into one black one, and I was like, okay, well, this kind of fits comfortably. And he's like, "What do you want? You want to take these? Take a car for a ride and stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's try driving one of the Malibus." And he's like, "I'm not sure if it matters to you." And in my mind, I'm like, "Ah, oh, Jesus, here goes. He's gonna try to upsell me." He's like, I'm not sure if it matters to you, but there is one more Malibu over here that one of our salesmen is demo driving. It's just like these. They're all 2019. They're all 2019 Chevy Malibus with 60,000 miles on them, just because they're fleet cars from Enterprise.
Gotcha.
So he's like, we have one more over here. It has the nicer wheels and it has a sunroof and stuff. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I know it's gonna be more money. I know these are gonna be like 19,000. That's gonna be like 24.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't really care much about sunroof and wheels and stuff like that to pay the extra money for it. He's like, well, it's like an extra $1,000, but I'll just charge you for that one what I would for the other ones.
Oh well.
And I was like, well, then yeah, Yeah, I was like, yeah, I absolutely do love fucking sunroofs and nicer wheels, 100%. Um, and so I took it for a drive, and I was like, you know what? It's just comfortable. Like I
Nice.
fucking love this, and I'm fucking driving. I drove it around. Like I went down the main road of Peatone, down a country road, another country road, another country road. Accelerate a little bit. Like I realized that in my life, I got to a certain point where like power and like acceleration doesn't fucking matter to me as long as it
Yeah, right.
gets done. I don't need
Yeah,
to fucking floor it and get to 60 miles an hour like within like 4 seconds. I just don't care.
right.
Um,
I just need to be able to get on the highway fast enough and not get run over. That's all I
exactly,
care
and
about.
yep, and even when I drive to work, anyways, I don't speed and everything. I do the speed limit because it my drive to work, rather, granted it is long, it's my time to kind of decompress and get ready for the day.
Sure.
Same on my way home from work. It's just my way of, just, you know, decompressing from work to get home. So I don't really speed. I go to speed like maybe I'll go like five over on the highway if I want and everything. But I'm not fucking accelerating to pass fucking people and shit. Does like it's just my time to fucking get home and just relax and decompress. Um, so I'm driving this fucking Malibu and I fucking love it for many reasons. First off, it has a radio.
Oh yeah, that's a big step up from
Huge. Yeah.
the Ram.
Yeah. It has a radio. The engine fucking works. Every setting on the air fucking works. Check engine light's not on. The headlights work. Really has everything. And I told Kyle, I'm like, I think this is my car.
Nice.
And so to give me an idea of what it is, because the biggest thing is about the payments.
Right. Yeah.
I just really dread on having the monthly payments.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, just budget out. What can you afford? It's like, I know what I can afford. I know exactly what I can afford. And I kept thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to go to this as long as it's under $700 a month. I'll be fine. It would suck because I'll be paycheck to paycheck again, but I'll be fine. I need to have a vehicle. My truck is gone. No more RIP fucking Big Red. Gone.
Right.
I need a truck or I need a vehicle today because I need to get to work on Monday. I couldn't get to work on Friday. I had to turn around and drive home, praying it
Right.
didn't fucking
Yeah.
blow
It
on me.
doesn't matter what the payments are if I can't have a fucking car.
Yeah, yeah. Because the whole thing was like, if they told me then that my payments were going to be X amount of dollars and shit like that on that Malibu, my next option was like a 2008 fucking Honda.
Oh
It was
God.
like 10 grand. Either way, I had to have walked off that. I didn't tell them that, but
Right.
either
No.
way, I
Yeah.
had to have walked out of that dealership with a fucking car.
Right.
It had to be, and that unfortunately, and here's the thing too, and I know eventually my uncle's gonna find out about this, but I have an uncle who's a dealer at Tinley Park Chevy dealership,
Yeah.
and I was gonna go to him when it was time to get a new vehicle. I just couldn't trust that my truck was going to make it to Tinley Park.
For sure.
So eventually he's gonna find out, and if he ever listens to this show, or my cousin or my aunt, and I'm sure they're not going to care, but if they feel like there's some kind of betrayal to it, I do apologize. I didn't go to you to get the vehicle. I would have loved to. I just had no way of getting to Tinley Park to do it.
Right.
The dealership is 3 minutes from my house, and it was a struggle just to get to there. So,
You can walk to Drawley's. Like,
I could. I mean, come on now. Do you think I would? But no, I
I'm
100%
just saying,
could.
but you could.
I could have. Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
Pearl would have been a closer walk. I'd never walked to fucking Terry's.
Yeah.
Fuck Terry's Ford. They fucked me on that Navigator.
Mm-hmm.
They also ran my credit once without me knowing. Didn't like that.
Mm.
So I was talking to Kyle. Kyle, and Kyle was kind of there to kind of keep me centered because when I went with Matt and when I went with Josh and I got the Grand Prix and I got the Navigator, there was none of them telling me like, hey, let's think about it, ponder it, blah, blah, blah. It was like, hey, you're fucking here. Let's get it. Because if Matt would have done that to me, it would have saved me on having that car payment on that Grand Prix. If Josh would have done that to me, it probably would have saved me from ever buying that fucking Navigator. So, like, Kyle was just like, cool, let's get some information, go home, think about it, let's see where we want to go from there. So I got the information. I went home. I thought about it. I'm like, well, I'm definitely going to need this fucking this vehicle. And the payments were under 500. I wasn't sure what it was, but it was under 500. So I was like, sold. Called them up, said, hey, I decided I want this Malibu. They said, perfect, we can keep you back up here. I'm like, half an hour. So I emptied out everything in my fucking truck, which was fucking 10 years of shit. Went back up there and everything. They cleaned it up, got it all set up for me. I brought them my vehicle. I got $1,000 for my truck. They told me if the engine worked, I probably could have got five.
Yeah.
And all I kept thinking about, like, man, if this was 3 days ago,
Mm-hmm.
because that engine was not doing that 3 days ago. But I ended up getting $1,000 for my truck. So now I'm a proud owner of a 2019 Chevy Malibu,
Nice.
black with a sunroof, nice wheels, radio. And I'm just happy. I'm happy because like there was a moment where the yesterday morning when I called mom and I told her like car's dying, that I felt fucking defeated because we had a conversation like this. Um, I think the end of last season where I always felt like every time something good happens in my life, there's always something bad that's going to correct that.
Mm-hmm.
I got like an evil balance of life or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Um, and I thought this was it. And I was like, of course, I'm finally in a situation where I have a little extra money where I can enjoy life and do some shit while still covering all my bills. And now I'm gonna have a fucking $700-800 fucking car payment, and I just nothing's ever gonna fucking work out for right for me. I just felt so fucking defeated. And I'm looking at my credit score, and it's not the fucking greatest because I had employment and financial struggles because of COVID for a brief
Right.
period of time. It's like I'm never gonna get fucking ahead. Mom,
Which, like, just as a weird side, here's my get your shit together. Credit companies. Why are you offering low rates, your lowest rates, to the people who can afford to make the payment every month and never pay interest?
yeah,
Why are you not offering your super low rates to the people who need them to make their payment every month?
it's funny how that fucking works,
Fucking
isn't
stupid. It's really fucking stupid.
it? Right?
And
People who could afford it get like a 4% interest rate, but the people who struggle get 24% interest rate.
right,
It's fucking
no,
insane.
it's fucking insane. And you know what?
Fucking
Also,
insane.
credit scores were invented in the 80s.
Mhm.
Maybe they shouldn't exist. Maybe it's fucking stupid we have them.
The
You know?
and that's the thing, like so the finance guy that I was working with, which again, this has a beautiful fucking ending. So I'm not gonna I can't say anything negative about anybody in this situation because everyone was fucking great.
Yeah.
The salesman, the finance, everyone was fucking great. Um, but it's like even he said he's like credit scores don't really mean anything anymore.
Right.
They just really don't. And I
Yeah.
was
They
like,
make a
I
big
don't.
difference on your end payment, but that's it.
Yeah. So uh I ended up finding out that because I always looked at my credit score based on Credit Karma. That's
Right.
the
Yeah.
thing I was
Same.
always told to use. Well, it comes to find out that Credit Karma was off by 70 points of what my credit score really is.
Wow. Wait, in a good or bad?
Good. Well,
Oh,
no, bad. I'm sorry.
like Credit
Sorry.
Karma underestimated it by 70.
Yes. Yeah.
Good.
My
I
credit
like
score
that.
was 70% higher than what Credit Karma said it was,
Wow.
which blew my fucking mind because once they told me, like, okay, yeah, so here's what your plan is, this is your payment, and here's your credit score. I'm like, okay, well, Credit Karma says that my credit score is 70% less than that. It's like, no, this is what it is. Credit Karma just gives you an idea of where your credit score is at a certain point. I
Right.
was like, oh, okay. So instantly that thought of like, oh god, everything's fucking up, I just brush it off to the side. I didn't completely ignore it because I know that it's always a possibility.
Right. Yeah. You
That's
got to
kind
be
of just,
prepared for the possibility.
yeah. So but yeah, so I ended up with the car and everything works out like I said. And they said keep in mind, I understand that you said you could have paid this. Even if you can still pay it because you're going to pay the car off sooner. But this way, if you just pay it off what you're paying off, you're going to be fine. Because it's $450 a month, and I could afford a 700 if I needed to.
Nice.
So I could either pay a little bit extra, pay it off sooner, or just pay the payments and just be done when it's done. So I decided, like if I have a good month, I'll pay a little bit extra. If I don't, then I don't.
Nice.
But I know that the car that I have is not this isn't going to be my Dodge Ram story. I'm not going to have this vehicle for 10 fucking years. You know, this isn't gonna be me having this story about this fucking Chevy Malibu in 2030 about how I enjoyed 9 years with this fucking thing. It's
Yeah.
just not gonna happen.
Right.
This car is gonna get me for the next 3 or 4 years. And honestly, like even the dealership guy told me he's like I know people don't like car payments, but honestly, 3 4 years upgrade. Still get the value out of your car that you think you could get and getting something that's more reliable. I know people don't like doing that, but honestly, it's a better way of doing it. And I know it's not his sales tactic. I know it's kind of true because I hear it from everybody.
Right.
You know, you want to drive the car as long as you can before something bad happens, and you get some value out of it.
Right. Well,
So
and cars today are much harder to repair.
yeah,
You can't get the parts. You can't put the thing. You can't do it yourself. Everything is. They got this bullshit like you know. Speaking of which, if you ever get the chance to support and vote for right to repair law, vote for it. um,
what is
but
that?
they so like there's this idea that you should have the right to repair anything you own. It's your stuff. You should be allowed to repair it.
Hmm.
A lot of companies now will do like Apple does, and they'll have like chips in every single part that will tell the device whether or not it is a genuine factory manufactured part, so you can't just substitute something else. And
Gotcha.
if you substitute something else, it won't work. So like and on phones, not the world's biggest deal. You get like Apple Care or Google Care or whatever, and it's not so bad. But like a laptop or a car, all of a sudden you're talking about thousands of dollars that you're getting charged from a dealer to do the work because they don't want other mechanics to be able to do it, or the other mechanics have to be certified a certain way or whatever. And this extends all the way up to the company that's probably the most egregious is John Deere, because like farmers fix their shit. They don't want to fucking pay John Deere $1,000 a month to have a subscription to get the part from John Deere that they still have to pay for,
Yeah.
you know. And that's, I mean, John Deere is kind of fucking there, and they have a bit of a monopoly on tractors and farm equipment. um but yeah, and so like a lot that's a problem in the auto industry now is a lot of you can't get parts because they have to be made by the factory to be able to work with the computer in your car. And it
Mhm.
sucks. It's really crappy. So
I gotcha.
I'm a big advocate for right to repair. It's your shit. You should be able to fix it.
Yeah, well, and I think that's what for, and that's one of the big things that does suck is because like you hear like a lot of people talk about like like back in my day wouldn't have to worry about shit like this, and it's true because they're not making things to last anymore.
Right.
Like things are designed to fucking break down.
Right. After 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, and that's what sucks. And it's like even my dad says, which it's goofy to hear him talk about it and everything, but he's not wrong in the sense that they put more shit into these things every fucking year because that's more shit that could break and you have to bring it in.
Yep.
It's just like, yeah, I mean, come on now. It's like I found out. I got a key fob for my car
Oh yeah,
that
that's $145.
it's almost $300.
What?
It honestly could be more. I think it's between $300 or $400. This fucking fob.
Jesus.
It's a keyless remote start. So you have to like buy the program and all this other goofy shit. And they only gave me one. They only had one.
Oh,
So I got one. I got one key, one fob that decides if I go to work or not.
jeez.
It's
It's
but
nuts.
outside of that, I am truly happy. I
Yeah, good. I'm happy for you. That's
yeah.
nothing like having a new car.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see how it goes when we take our road trip through Wisconsin.
Yeah, that would be great.
All the journeys we will have.
Mm-hmm.